This is our first step in working on the van. We're about to go in here and look at some paint swatches because we want to line it with truck bed liner, Raptor liner, whatever you want to call it. I want like a sand color, kind of like my shirt. See the shirt color? So we only have like 15 minutes to go in here because the store is about to close and we're going to look at some paint. You probably like one of these. I kind of like these ones though. Like these ones.
These are whites.
Okay, never mind. That's a little better.
So like this.
Yeah.
Outside. Like. They're gonna look exactly the same on camera. They look almost like exactly the same person.
It looks a little darker. We're getting paint. We're getting paint, baby.
So none of these?
We're getting paint.
Looks stunning. Loving it, darling. Loving it. Trying to be that lady from Incredibles. Welcome back, good people. This week we are painting the van, and the first step in painting is taking the whole thing apart. So what I'm doing right here is I'm taking the bumper apart and removing it. We're gonna go through and take the rest of pretty much everything apart. Front bumper, rear bumper, grill, reflectors, everything. That way we don't have to tape everything up. It can just get removed and there's no chance of any paint getting on it. Sheesh, let me tell you, these fenders in the rear are some of the most challenging things to get off from me for some reason. That tire is just in the way. Man, that was easy. That was so hard. After a long journey, we did it. Well, we finished the first part. This van, like any older van, especially this style van, has a couple rough spots. Fortunately, this one's not as bad as most. So I already started trying to touch up some of the rough spots. So what we did right here is I sanded this spot down to bare metal, and then I coated it with some rust reformer. And that's the same thing we're gonna do with this spot, sanded it down already, and I'm gonna coat that and then treat all the rust around the van, because we learned with our van, last thing you want to do is paint before taking care of the rust, because with our van we're gonna have to take care of some additional spots. You can see right here we're having a little corrosion. Got to get under there. This is kind of the boring part. I'll time lapse it for you guys, but for me it's gonna take hours. All right, let's go. Alright guys, just finished the passenger side, which is the easier side on this particular van because it has less rust. So let's check it out. Good news, the front doesn't need any work. Let's check the back out. Back looks great. Except we have one itty bitty spot right there. So I'm gonna get that right now. Good rising, my peeps. Super excited today because today I'm up bright and early and I get to work on the van. I get to work on it full time without going to work. This is my work for the next 2-3 months. And I'm excited because I've never really been able to work from home. So, I don't know, it's really exciting to just go outside and boom, I'm right at it. So, sanded and primed these spots here. Got a few more rough spots to go. Then we're gonna sand the whole thing, tape it up, and paint this bad boy. Let's get started. I just want to pause for a minute to say 2 things. Number 1, this is really hard. Not really hard, it's draining. Number 2, this is what your spot should look like once you've sanded them down well. So I got them pretty much done, you know, all the way down to the bare metal. Then I'm gonna have this self-etching primer, spray some of this on, shake it up real good, spray this on, and be ready to paint. That's pretty much the full process. Woo! Alright, so that was a lot of work, but officially touched up all the rust. The spots were not as big as they're looking right now, but now next order of business is to sand down the entire van just so it's not glossy, so the paint adheres well. So the Raptor liner, you know, sticks. It has a good surface to bond to. So I'm gonna sand the whole thing down, and then after I sand it, we're gonna wash it real good and then tape it. But let's go. Let's go ahead and get started sanding this whole thing. I'm probably not gonna show you that because it's gonna look literally the same before and after. If you're wondering who that guy is in the green shirt, I don't blame you. That's actually our neighbor, Sal. He's great. He gives us a lot of food from the garden, and he's been quite instrumental in this project for us. He's helped me with quite a few things. I guess maybe he saw I was struggling by myself or what, but plus he wanted to make sure I didn't get any paint on his garden, so we had to throw up this blue tarp to make sure no overspray got on his nice tomatoes and whatnot. What's up, team? It's day 3 of my project here on Raptor lining the van. I understand I'm moving a little slow, but I just want to get it right. I want to make it, you know, perfect. So this is where we're at right now. I washed the whole thing yesterday, and you know, it's gonna look the same on camera as it did last time I went around. But it's all washed. I got it sitting on this plastic tarp, and then I got this tarp up. It's all sanded and scuffed up real good. So now I'm about to tape, get the compressor ready. Showtime. After 2 hours of taping, it's done. I made a couple of silly mistakes and opened a couple of doors I shouldn't have, which made it take a bit longer. I want to either paint the accessories first, the bumper and the fenders, but after I do that, the first thing I want to paint is the roof. The problem is, I just don't know how I'm going to get to it. I was going to stand on it, but then I don't know how to get down once I'm done painting it. So, maybe I should just stand on a ladder. What do you think, Nyla? Huh? If you guess what this tool is called, what would you guess?
An air pressure cold denserizer.
Yeah, that's close. It's called a compressor, but air pressure is the right word. You had to go on.
So what are we doing?
Well, right now we got to put it together. So I got to put the wheels on, put the handlebar on. Nyla. She's plugged in. Turn her power switch on. Let it run for 15 minutes, then turn it off. We're using this adhesion promoter because we're using plastic and these parts are gonna flex and bend a little bit more than the glass. So we're putting this on these plastic fenders and bumpers so the paint doesn't chip. All right, with the help of the whole neighborhood, we've arrived somewhere. You're gonna see what our color looks like. What do you think? Looks good?
I like it.
I already started a little bit. Stuff stinks. We got like a sage green going on. I'm gonna finish doing this back door and then we'll move on. Here we go. We're making progress. Halfway home. It's kind of got a military vibe, doesn't it?
Yeah, army green.
Looks pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously need another coat. There's my assistant.
What's up, Chris?
I can let him retire.
How's it going, man? You're kind of late, man.
I
Yeah.
know. Looking good though, Chris. You know what you need, Chris? And you know what they need? Some big tires and some gold rims.
Gold rims, huh?
Yeah.
What's up, guys? Rise and shine. I think this is the earliest I've ever waken up voluntarily. It's about 6 now. I woke up around 5:30. We went painting deep into the night last night. Still got to put the second coat on, maybe a third, but we'll see. But I'm gonna show you what we got right now. Little patchy, but that's what's expected for the first coat. Actually looks a lot better in person than it does on camera. Time to get a couple more coats on before noon, and then put it back together. Alright guys, while I'm doing this, I'm just going to explain a little bit about the product we're using, and if you want to achieve this look, how you can do it. So this product is called Raptor liner. So these bottles of tintable Raptor liner are readily available on Amazon. So they come in a kit, packs of 4. Each 4-pack comes with a gun. There's various types of guns that you can use or other people use. For this texture right here that I'm getting, I'm choosing to use the gun that they provide. This is that gun. They call it a Schultz gun. This area sucks up the paint. The bottle screws in right here, and I'm just screwing on the nozzle. And I'm attaching it to a compressor. You need a compressor for this. Compressors are interesting pieces of equipment, to say the least. They can be quite challenging to use if you haven't used them before. For the red van, power van, I rented one because I didn't think I would ever do this again. But for this one, I bought one, and then renting one was an extreme hassle. And it's more pricey than you think. It was about $70 to rent one, and I got this one for like $130. This is McGraw 8-gallon compressor, and it gets 150 psi. And for this, I'm shooting at 60 psi. I'm honestly not 100% sure on how to work it yet, so I can't really explain all that. What I can explain is the mixing process. So if you want to do this with your own vehicle, you're going to want to get it's called tintable Raptor liner. And tintable means that you can pick your own color. So you go to your local automotive paint store and you pick whatever color you want, and you tell them that you're using it with the Raptor liner. On Raptor liner's website, they have different links that have all helpful information, frequently asked questions, and it's really detailed and they're really helpful. But what you basically want is to go there and you want to get the substrate with no binder. Leaving out the binder allows for the best quality when doing this here paint. So I'm gonna show you how to mix it real quick. Each pack comes looking like this. So you have 4 bottles. You have a cup that measures your hardener, which you have to pour into the bottle. And you have, of course, the hardener. So the way this works is like this. First, get your paint a little stir. And if you don't know going into this, automotive paint is extremely costly. These bottles don't come all the way filled. It's because the hardener needs to be added. They couldn't ship it to you with the hardener in there. Otherwise the bottle would harden. All right, next thing you want to do, so you fill it up to this fill line here. This line where my thumb is. Put the hardener in until it gets to that line. This is the quick way. Then you're gonna put the paint in. I like to pour mine into a smaller cup. So you're gonna fill your tint up. There's a very, very thin, almost invisible line on this bottle, and that's about where you want to put your tint to. And if you want to measure them out, that's cool too. It's about 2 ounces for every bottle. All right, guys, here we go. Code number 2. Showtime. We came a long way, family. It's finished being painted, and it's time for the fun part, which is taking off all the tape and stuff. It's just satisfying. So let's get started. This is gorgeous. Oh my goodness, Nyla. Oh my goodness. Woo! Woo! All right, guys, almost there. We got it all untaped. So clean up first, then put it back together. Step, I don't know, 10 in the longest task of this entire van build. All right, here we go. My girl's happy with the finished product, and so am I. I'm gonna walk you around. It's been a couple days. I was quite beat. Overall, the job took about a total of 30-40 hours and a total material cost of about $1,400, something like that. And I know that's a lot, but it's a huge van and it was a big job. This is a sage color picked by the buyer. And I really like the way it came out. Really happy with it. Love the black fenders and bumpers. Only thing we need to do is change those silver wheels. This, I sprayed over top of the decals here. And I want to make those black. Let me get my baby girl. Nah. Making noise during Papa's video. What you got to say? Say sorry. Say I apologize. I apologize.
Here you go.
Mwah.